Most people believe they are mentally strong. They handle responsibilities, meet deadlines, maintain routines, and speak confidently in public. On the surface, it looks like resilience. But mental strength is not proven when everything is going according to plan. It is revealed when something unexpected disrupts it. Most people confuse activity with stability. They mistake confidence for composure. They assume that because they can endure pressure temporarily, their mind is unbreakable. Yet watch what happens when criticism lands without warning, when a plan collapses, or when uncertainty lingers longer than expected. The mood shifts. Patience shortens. Doubt enters quietly. Surface-level strength makes noise. It argues, defends, reacts. It seeks to prove itself in every disagreement. True resilience is quieter. It does not rush to respond. It does not collapse under discomfort. It absorbs pressure without losing alignment. There is a difference between appearing tough and being internally anchored. One relies on external validation. The other is governed from within. Resilience is not emotional suppression. It is not pretending nothing affects you. It is the discipline of choosing your response deliberately, even when emotion urges immediacy. If your composure depends on circumstances remaining favorable, then it is conditional. And conditional strength is fragile. To build a mind that cannot be broken, you must move beyond performance and into governance. Because real mental strength is not loud, it is controlled. Consider how quickly a day can shift. You wake up prepared, focused, confident. Then a message arrives questioning your performance. It may be neutral in tone, but your mind reads criticism. A subtle tightening forms in your chest. The rest of the morning carries that weight. At work, a colleague receives praise you hoped for. You tell yourself it does not matter, yet comparison creeps in. Your concentration weakens. Small tasks feel heavier than they should. Scrolling through social media, you encounter curated success, promotions, achievements, milestones. Rationally, you understand that you are seeing highlights. Emotionally, doubt whispers. Am I behind? Am I enough? Then an unexpected setback appears. A delayed project, a financial expense, a conversation that does not go as planned. None of these events are catastrophic, yet your mood shifts disproportionately. Energy drains, irritation rises, motivation wavers. Notice what is happening. The disruption is minor, the internal reaction is amplified. Most minds are not broken by trauma alone. They are destabilized by repeated, unexamined interpretation. A small comment becomes personal attack. A delay becomes injustice. A comparison becomes inadequacy. And because these interpretations happen quickly, they feel factual. The mind does not say, I am choosing this meaning. It says, this is what is happening. Over time, this pattern quietly erodes stability. You begin to anticipate stress. You brace for criticism. You fear uncertainty. Not because life is unbearable, but because your interpretation of it is fragile. The question is not whether challenges will appear. They will. The question is whether your mind has been trained to withstand them without losing balance. And this is where philosophy begins to matter. Long before modern psychology analyzed stress responses, the Stoics examined the structure of the human mind. They were not interested in avoiding difficulty. They were interested in understanding why difficulty destabilizes some people and strengthens others. Epictetus began his teachings with a clear distinction. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. This was not abstract philosophy. It was a framework for resilience. When we attempt to control what is not within our authority, other people's opinions, outcomes, past events, frustration becomes inevitable. When we focus on what is within our authority, stability becomes possible. He stated plainly, men are disturbed not by things but by the views which they take of them. The disturbance does not arise from the event itself. It arises from interpretation. A colleague's question is neutral. Interpreted as an attack, it becomes anger. A delay is neutral. Interpreted as injustice, it becomes resentment. Marcus Aurelius reinforced this in his Meditations. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Notice the precision. He does not deny pain. He locates its origin in judgment. This is the foundation of resilience. The Stoics did not promise a world without hardship. They promised clarity about where suffering begins. When meaning is assigned unconsciously, emotion follows automatically. When meaning is examined deliberately, emotion becomes manageable. Resilience, then, is not emotional numbness. It is disciplined interpretation. It is the refusal to allow first impressions to dictate inner state. The possibility of training the mind becomes real. Understanding that disturbance comes from judgment is clarifying. But clarity alone does not prevent collapse. When pressure rises, reaction often feels automatic. The reason lies not in moral weakness, but in biology. The human brain evolved to detect threat rapidly. When something appears to challenge status, belonging, or safety, the nervous system activates before conscious thought fully engages. Heart rate increases, muscles tense, attention narrows. In that moment, the body prepares for defense. Today, the threats are rarely physical. They are social. A critical remark, a dismissive tone, a perceived exclusion. The ego amplifies this process. Its function is to maintain coherence in how we see ourselves. When competence or worth feels questioned, the ego interprets it as a threat to identity. It seeks restoration through reaction. Dopamine reinforces this pattern. When you react sharply or reassert dominance, there is often a brief sensation of satisfaction. The tension decreases. The mind experiences reward. That reward strengthens the habit. Over time, the brain learns that reaction resolves discomfort quickly. Cognitive distortions further distort perception. The mind personalizes neutral feedback. It exaggerates minor setbacks. It assumes hostile intent where none may exist. These distortions feel factual because they arise quickly and confidently. This is why breakdown under pressure feels justified. The reaction seems necessary. The narrative feels true. Yet biology explains impulse, it does not dictate destiny. The same brain capable of rapid reaction also contains the capacity for reflection. When awareness intervenes, the reasoning centers regain influence. The Stoics recognized this without scientific language. They trained themselves to pause between stimulus and response. Modern neuroscience confirms what they practiced. Even brief delay reduces the intensity of emotional reactivity. When you understand the mechanisms beneath impulse, you stop seeing yourself as fragile. You see conditioning at work, and conditioning can be retrained. Place two individuals in the same circumstance and observe the divergence. Both experience failure. The fragile mind interprets it as identity collapse. I am not capable. Energy drains. Confidence fractures. The setback becomes proof of inadequacy. Future attempts carry hesitation. Growth slows. The unbreakable mind interprets the same event differently. Failure becomes information. What was within my control? What can be improved? Disappointment is acknowledged, but identity remains intact. Action continues. Consider insult. The fragile mind reacts immediately. Anger rises. Words sharpen. Reputation quietly weakens. Others begin to associate instability with capability. The unbreakable mind pauses. It evaluates whether the insult holds substance. If it does, it extracts value. If it does not, it discards it. Dignity remains intact because reaction is governed, not automatic. Now examine rejection, a declined opportunity, an unanswered message, a closed door. The fragile mind personalizes it. Self-doubt expands. Motivation contracts. Avoidance follows. The unbreakable mind separates outcome from worth. Rejection becomes redirection. The door closed does not define the individual standing before it. Uncertainty presents perhaps the greatest contrast. The fragile mind demands guarantees. When none are available, anxiety dominates. The future becomes threat. The unbreakable mind accepts uncertainty as inherent to existence. Stability is anchored internally rather than externally. Plans adjust, but composure remains. The difference is rarely dramatic in a single moment. It lies in accumulated interpretation. Over time, fragile responses compound into volatility. Governed responses compound into credibility. One path builds hesitation and regret. The other builds resilience and trust. And the divergence begins in the smallest pauses. Understanding resilience conceptually is valuable, but resilience becomes real only when it is practiced consistently. The Stoics approached strength as a discipline, not a personality trait. To build a mind that cannot be broken, you need a structure. The first step is a perception audit. When something destabilizes you, ask what you are telling yourself about it. Separate the event from interpretation. If a colleague questions your work, the event is the question. The interpretation may be, they think I am incompetent. By identifying the narrative, you loosen its grip. The second step is the emotional pause. Reaction compresses time. Discipline expands it. Slow your breathing. Allow the surge to pass without acting on it. Even a few seconds create space for clarity. In moments of criticism, silence is often more powerful than immediate defense. The pause restores balance between emotion and reasoning. The third step is voluntary discomfort. The Stoics practiced intentional hardship to reduce fear of it. Train your mind by choosing small challenges, cold showers, difficult conversations, disciplined routines. This weakens its power to destabilize you. The fourth step is reframing control. What is within your authority right now? You cannot control another person's tone, but you can control your composure. You cannot control market fluctuations, but you can control preparation. Focus on what remains governable. The fifth step is virtue anchoring. Before acting, ask which response aligns with wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. Wisdom examines facts calmly. Courage remains steady. Temperance resists excess reaction. Justice ensures fairness. This alignment grounds behavior. The final step is deliberate action. After auditing and pausing, choose your response consciously. Sometimes the correct action is speaking with clarity. Sometimes it is silence. Sometimes it is adjusting strategy. What matters is that the action emerges from governance rather than reflex. Consider rejection again. Perception audit reveals fear. Emotional pause prevents defense. Reframing control shifts focus. Deliberate action leads to growth. This framework does not eliminate adversity. It restructures your relationship to it. With repetition, the process becomes natural. Resilience shifts from effort to habit, and habit becomes identity. Resilience is not built in dramatic moments. It is built in repetition. One of the most effective practices is reflective journaling. Marcus Aurelius used his meditations not as a public display, but as a private correction. Writing forces clarity. Describe the event and interpretation separately. This exercise strengthens awareness and weakens exaggeration. Another powerful tool is negative visualization. Rather than fearing difficulty, imagine it deliberately. Visualize criticism, delay, rejection, not to dwell on catastrophe, but to reduce surprise. When you rehearse adversity calmly, the mind is less destabilized when it arrives unexpectedly. Self-dialogue correction is essential. Pay attention to how you speak internally. Replace distorted narratives with measured ones. Instead of "this always happens to me," try "this is a moment, not a pattern." The mind gradually adopts the tone you reinforce. Voluntary discomfort builds tolerance for stress. Choose small challenges that require restraint. Wake earlier than necessary. Finish tasks before comfort urges delay. Engage in conversations you would normally avoid. Each controlled discomfort expands your capacity to endure larger ones without reaction. These habits are not dramatic. They are quiet, but they accumulate. Journaling sharpens perception. Visualization reduces fear. Dialogue correction stabilizes narrative. Discomfort practice strengthens endurance. Over time, the mind stops expecting ease. It expects challenge and meets it with preparation. And when daily training becomes consistent, resilience ceases to be something you attempt. It becomes something you embody. Techniques build skill. Habits build stability. But true resilience emerges when discipline becomes character. The Stoics did not aim to manage emotion occasionally. They aimed to shape who they were, to become mentally anchored, is to root identity in virtue rather than circumstance. Wisdom steadies perception. It allows you to see events clearly, without distortion or exaggeration. When criticism arises, wisdom evaluates before reacting. It separates fact from assumption. Courage supports composure. It takes courage to remain calm when pressure intensifies, to resist the impulse to defend instantly, to endure discomfort without fleeing into reaction. Courage is not loud defiance. It is steady presence. Temperance ensures restraint. It governs excess of anger, of pride, of fear. Temperance allows you to feel emotion without surrendering to it. It keeps reaction proportional rather than explosive. Justice aligns response with fairness. Even when ego is provoked, justice asks what is right rather than what feels satisfying. It prevents reaction from becoming harm. When these virtues anchor behavior, resilience shifts from effort to identity. You no longer attempt to stay composed. You expect yourself to be. Externally, life remains unpredictable. Internally, alignment strengthens. You become less dependent on favorable conditions and more grounded in principle. This is the Stoic transformation, not in vulnerability, but anchored stability, not suppression, but governed strength. And from this foundation, the mind becomes increasingly difficult to break. The transformation is rarely dramatic in a single moment. It compounds. Each time you choose restraint over reaction, you strengthen credibility. Each measured response builds trust. Over time, others begin to see you as steady under pressure. In professional settings, that steadiness becomes leadership presence. Contrast this with the chaotic life. Mood fluctuates with every setback. Conversations escalate unnecessarily. Reputation becomes unpredictable. Even success feels unstable because it depends on circumstances staying favorable. In the anchored life, stability accumulates. Emotional volatility decreases. Decisions align with long-term goals rather than temporary impulses. Relationships improve because others feel secure around your consistency. Disagreements no longer threaten connection. They become manageable conversations. Peace of mind deepens as well, not because difficulty disappears, but because your internal response becomes reliable. Uncertainty no longer feels overwhelming. It feels navigable. Over months and years, this difference becomes unmistakable. One path leads to exhaustion and regret. The other builds quiet authority. And quiet authority, sustained long enough, becomes enduring strength. At the beginning, we questioned what real mental strength truly is. Now the distinction is clear. A strong mind is not one that avoids pressure. It is one that governs itself within it. Circumstances will continue to shift. Criticism will arrive. Plans will fail. Uncertainty will remain part of life. What changes is whether those events dictate your inner state. Epictetus reminded us that disturbance comes from judgment, not events. Marcus Aurelius practiced mastering his interpretation before mastering anything else. Their resilience was not accidental. It was trained. A mind that cannot be broken is not invulnerable. It is anchored. If this lesson strengthened your perspective, subscribe to the Dark Stoic for deeper guidance in practical stoicism, emotional discipline, and resilient inner strength.